Our next guest knows Senate politics as well as anyone. Jim Manley served as one of Reid's top aides until leaving the Hill last year. And Lizzie O'Leary is here with me as well. Nice to have you both in this sweltering D.C. heat. But people worked through the heat to come up with something. As Senator Reid just said there, everyone gave a little bit, but that's what compromise is. The perception, Jim, is Democrats gave a little bit more in that there aren't revenue increases in here.
I think I probably have to agree with that. This is certainly not the deal that I would have ever written. But the fact is the president did what he needed to do to try and avoid a potential catastrophic default while protecting key domestic priorities and making sure that we have another chance at a later time to deal with revenue and tax increases. So this is going to be a little bit of a sell on the Hill, but in the end, I think probably it's going to be able to squeak through in both the Senate and the House. And
one of the things to sell is that it's this two-part deal. These initial cuts up front, and then that promise of $1.5 trillion to come, decided or influenced by a super committee. What does that look like to you? Who sits on that potentially? Any idea?
Well, if you're taking your cues from the Wall Street Journal editorial page, you're certainly not going to put anybody from the Gang of Six on there because that would suggest to them at least that automatically revenues and tax increases are going to be on the table. Reid's going to have to spend some time thinking about this. This is going to be one of the bigger appointments he's ever been a part of in recent years. So, but you're going to have to look to senior members of the Senate who have the ability to sit down and negotiate. Hopefully, we're going to be able to avoid having the hard-charging ideologues on both sides sitting at that table, because this is going to be a very, very big responsibility.
We know that Vice President Biden is going to be up here. He's essentially the sacrificial lamb in front of the House Democrats and the Senate Democrats, the guys you worked with. Who's going to give him a harder time? I mean, this is going to be a bit of a nasty fight over in the House. How many votes do they walk away with?
Well, a couple different things. First of all, yes, I think that I wouldn't want to be in his shoes today. This is going to be a tough, tough sell. Obviously, it's going to be, when you have people like Congressman Cleaver talking about describing this deal as a sugar-coated Satan sandwich. That's a tough, tough audience to deal with. I think probably, however, conventional wisdom is that Boehner's going to have to bring a majority of his caucus, approximately 150 Republicans, and Leader Pelosi, along with Mr. Hoyer, will deliver the 70 or 80 needed.
You think only 70? That's all they need?
I think that's what they're aiming for, correct.
How does this, if we can take a step back, I know we're still trying to tally votes here, but take a step back and talk to me about how this changes the political chessboard in Washington right now. We already have people on the campaign trail, including Mitt Romney, issuing releases saying that they wouldn't support the deal as it stands.
And then Congressman Bachmann as well, who just continues to demonstrate her ability to say no in new and creative ways. Look, I think that one of the biggest beneficiaries of this deal is presidential candidate, 2012 presidential candidate Barack Obama. I'm not so sure it benefits himself as President Obama, but certainly presidential candidate Obama has got the ability to demonstrate to the American people, to the independents, that he's got the ability and the knowledge and the skill necessary to forge a compromise.
But you have people out there, Paul Krugman among them, saying it looks like the president gave up a lot of territory. He gave up those revenue increases. He ceded a lot of territory. So how do you see him really as a winner?
Well, like I said, I'm saying as presidential candidate 2012, with the ability to play to moderates and independents, I think they're going to like that. The base is not going to like it. And furthermore, for that, Furthermore, I really think that some severe damage has occurred in the relations between the president and the Democrats in both the House and the Senate. Damage that I'm not sure can be repaired. I mean, there's not a lot of trust of the president right now. So you're going to have some folks, especially in the House, that are going to be taking a tough, tough vote that they're not going to want to take. But the alternative at this point in time is, not a viable alternative.
So that lack of support from Nancy Pelosi saying, we're going to have to hold off and read over the details, you think is sign of a deeper discord?
Oh, I believe so, yes. And it was a smart move on her part. Again, when you have members describing this as a Satan sandwich, you can't get in front of your caucus. So she was smart to take her time last night.